Well. Yes, my viewers and subscribers, I tell you, it is not the result that we wanted at the end of that first test match against Australia. But there are definitely some positive things, that went on in that game that we need to take a look at. Going into the first game, quite a few people were saying that, this game going to be over in 3 days. We are going to be destroyed. We won't go anywhere near 5 days. And this is not to say that this is not me rejoicing or saying that the team is the best thing in the world, because the aim of playing cricket is to win. But I watch the game and I know where our team is at, and I know where Australia is at. So I am going to talk about it, my peeps. So just make sure you watch the video until the end. And if you have not yet subscribed, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, Zin. And just a quick reminder, this evening at 6 p.m. we are going to be live, right? We are going to be live to talk a little bit about how the first test match there went. So just make sure you come on for the 1 hour live show, and you can come and let us know exactly what your thoughts are. All right, so Australia ended up winning that game by 164 runs, right? 164 runs. And I know that the people that are watching West Indies cricket from in the 70s, 80s coming up going to say that, this generation knows nothing about cricket. How can we be rejoicing? How can we be saying good things after going down to Australia? But you see, some people continues to live in the 1980s and the 1970s when we were dominant, and they don't understand that where the cricket is at now, it's nowhere near where it used to be back then. So when we see the team performing like this, and we are watching the nowadays cricket, and we know where we are at. So when we see the team go down in Australia and behave and perform like this, I don't know about anybody else. I personally go and point out a few things that I see, that definitely need to be pointed out. So we lost that game by 164 runs, as I said. We were chasing down a hefty score on the final day, and we eventually got bowled out for 333. Now we went into the day with Kyle Mayers there at the crease. I think he was yet to score, and Brathwaite was on 101. So we were thinking that if these two guys could bat close up to lunch, bat out the first hour, and then make it up to lunch, we would be in with a shout of drawing the game. But it wasn't to be, my peeps. Definitely wasn't to be. Kyle Mayers was removed, and then Nathan Lyon came in and he worked his trick. He did his thing. Jason Hola came and slash after a ball that was way outside the half stump, got out, and thinking about it was good to see the fight that was shown by Alzarri Joseph and Raston Chase. You understand? Raston Chase and Alzarri Joseph definitely buckled down, and they batted long and they fought extremely hard. You understand? Raston Chase, he ended up getting 55 from 85 deliveries, while Alzarri Joseph got 43 from 72 before he was eventually removed by Travis Head. So Travis Head getting a couple of wickets in this game here. You understand? I must say shout out to Raston Chase, because I personally was wondering how is it that he got into this team, because we all know that Raston in the past would have scored some runs, but we knew, based on how he would have performed in the last couple of test matches, we knew that he wasn't there as a batsman, and where the bowling is concerned, we thought that he wasn't as penetrative in the regional competition as a Cornwall or as a Moti and those guys. So we were wondering how is it that he got in, but the fact of the matter is that he got in, and he was fighting extremely hard to help us to save the test match. His primary role there was to really take wickets as a bowler, and he was really unable to do that. Nathan Lyon would have shown us, albeit on the final day, that wickets can be taken on that pitch, but our main frontline spinner wasn't really able to do much. But he played his part. You understand? The aim at the final day. And the final day was to try and draw the test match, and that is exactly what Raston was trying to do, but it so happened that it didn't work out at all. So we were bowled out for 333 within 110 overs. So what is good there is that we lasted all of over 90 overs. We batted to 110 and we scored over 300 runs. You understand? The first innings 283. As I said, nothing to really be happy and celebrate about, but scoring over what's that? Probably over six. That's what probably over 600 or so runs in that test match there. Not too bad. Australia scored almost 600 in one inning, so it just goes to show how far apart we are. But commendations must go to the players. So let me just go through the scorecard, our scorecard from the first innings. So the first innings, when we were chasing that 598, when we got bowled out for 283, you would remember that Brathwaite, he had 64, and Tejnarayan Chandapal, getting his first game at this level, scored a half century, 51. Jermaine Blackwood had 36. Banner had 16 before he, we all know what happened. Jason Hall had 27 in that innings. Kyle Mayers had 1. And we had Shamar Brooks coming in and getting 33. Da Silva didn't score in the first innings. Chase had 13. Alzari had 4. Kemar Roach and Seals were not able to score. And, coming over into the second innings here, where we were fighting extremely hard to try and save the test match. As I said, Brathwaite scoring a century. I think the last 10 or 11 centuries scored at the test level for West Indies, they have all been scored by Craig Brathwaite. I am hoping that with Tejnarayan Chandapal, opening because we would have had Nkrumah Banner, who scored a couple of who scored centuries also, and Kyle Mayers. I think opening at the top, batting at the top of the order, the last 10-11 centuries, I think would have been scored by Craig Brathwaite. And one thing I will say though, my peeps, is that with Tejnarayan Chandapal now in the team, we definitely hope that this will be a trend that will be broken. You understand? We want Captain Brathwaite to continue scoring centuries, but we are looking for Tej going into the future scoring. So the second innings, Brathwaite had 110 and Tej had 45. Brooks had 11. Blackwood had 24. Kyle Mayers had 10. Hole had 3. Joshua De Silva had 12 from 38. Rastan Chase getting 55. And Alzari Joseph 43. Jaden Seals not out and 5. And Roach did manage to score. Went to a first baller from Nathan Lyon. So, Roach not contributing with the bat in the first test in 2 innings. So you can look forward to Kemar Roach coming out in the second test match and doing his thing, because he usually chips in for us. So that is how it went, my peeps. That is how it went. In terms of the wicket takers for us, we would have seen Captain Craig Brathwaite taking a couple of wickets there. In the second innings, when we were bowling, the wickets, Kemar Roach had 1 and Rastan Chase had 1. It was very, very stingy out there for us, my peeps. Only Kemar Roach and Rastan Chase, as only 2 wickets fell in Australia's second innings. Just to remind you about the first innings now, it was almost the same thing in the first innings. In Australia's first innings, Jaden Seals had 1, Kyle Mayers had 1, and Craig Brathwaite had 2. So the strike bowlers, Alzari, Roach and Joseph didn't really do much in terms of being able to dismiss the batsmen. So that is where we're at, my peeps. As I said, this is not me celebrating a defeat. We were definitely hoping for the draw, but I saw some fight. And it's a possibility that going into the second test match, West Indies might go out there and do some foolishness and get steamrolled in 3.5-4 days. But this test match here, I definitely saw the team trying to fight. A couple of guys played some shots that weren't too sensible given the situation, but one of them thing there. Alzari Joseph, not the luckiest in this test match. I think when Marnus Lamashane, before he got that century, Alzari had him caught. What was it? Caught behind. Well, he wasn't caught behind. I think it was a short delivery that he got in some trouble, and the leading edge was found, if I'm not mistaken. And it so happened that it was a no ball. So Marnus, I don't know if I could say got dismissed off a no ball, because you can't be dismissed off a no ball. You understand? So yeah, there are a few things that needs to be tight, that we definitely need to tighten up going into the second test match, in terms of Blackwood, Kyle Mayers and a couple of other guys really chipping in and getting some runs and batting time. You understand? That is what Test cricket is about, batting time. So There you have it, my viewers. Australia winning the first test match there. Marnus Lamachine getting the man of the match after scoring a double century and a century in the 2 innings there that he batted. So we're going to leave it right here for now. Remember, this evening we will be live, so you can come on and come let us hear what you have to say about it. Zane, big up.